Are you ready for the King of the Ice? Pete's Power Plays with Philly Pete starts now on 12 Ounce Sports.
And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Thursday, September 23rd, 2021 episode of Pete's Power Plays, hosted by the one, the only King of the Ice and fantasy football guru, Philly Pete. And we're live on 12 Ounce Sports and Zingio TV, channel 761. Thank you all for coming by and tuning in and hanging out with yours truly as we discuss Thursday Night Football, Panthers, Texans. Who do you got tonight? I will break down my DFS player locks as well as giving you a side for tonight's game. Of course, you have the backup quarterback in. Tyrod Taylor is out. No Deshaun Watson. So you're being stuck with the third-string quarterback there for the Houston Texans. CMC, I feel like, will be running wild tonight. I want to go over, of course, NHL preseason starts on Saturday. You have 2 games on tap. Of course, I will give you guys updated. Basically, I want to give you guys division winner updates as well. Atlantic, Metropolitan, Pacific, and Central divisions. I'll go over that. And, of course, you all know where I stand in terms of where I'm going, in terms of who I like and who should represent those divisions. So, this show, Pete's Power Plays, is sponsored by BetUs, BetUS. Sign up with an account today. Use the promo code 12ounce 120Z. You'll get 125% deposit. Return back, basically, they'll match it up to 125%. That is BetUS, BetUs. Make an account today. And once again, use the promo code 12ounce and get set up today. Simple as that. Once again, BetUS. That is a hot commodity right now. Also, Zingio TV, channel 761. If you don't have Zingio TV, get it. It's a free app. Everyone has free stuff nowadays. Numbers are going off the charts. So thank you so much for tuning in on Zingio TV. If you don't have it, it's a free app. Download it. Like I said, it's on every streaming device out there. It's a simple setup. Use the promo code 12ounce. Again, 120Z. Simple as that. And then flip over to channel 761 where you'll be hearing today's episode live of Pete's Power Plays. And then last but not least, of course, Amazon.com. You're in the fall time now. It's the winter gear right around the corner. Get bundled up this winter and during this cold season by going to www.12ouncesportsradio.com/Amazon. So, paternity leave is officially over. I'm back at work, back at the office. All right, so, now I'm back with the show. Of course, I didn't have it on Tuesday and Wednesday. Wife went back to work a couple of days before I did. And, I'm with the baby all day, so I didn't have no shows Tuesday or Wednesday. So today I am back and an absolute loaded card. So let's get NHL out of the way first before I step into Week 3 DFS and tonight's daily fantasy as well between the Texans and the Carolina Panthers. Of course, lineups have been cashing out once again. Over the weekend, we cashed out another one. So, we're 2 weeks into the books already, cashing out about 5 lineups. So, Twitter should be feeling good. Clients have been feeling good as well. So, this is good to hear. And again, we're only getting to Week 3. So, plenty of football to go, plenty of money to cash out. Let's rock out tonight. I have 2 lineups. Clients will get their lineups right after the show today. Or more towards probably I get to dinner time. I want to get it fully functioning. And I'm pretty sure what I have my eyes set on in terms of a lineup. And Twitter lineup, I had that basically finalized as well. So, again, more towards the kickoff, about 7:30. I'll probably be posting that for everyone. So be on the lookout. Clients that just signed up, welcome aboard. Okay, more and more of you, like I said, have been signing up by the day. So thank you so much for your continued support. I deeply appreciate it. And let's cash out large. Like I said, some signed up just for the NHL package, season and playoff package. Some of you just signed up for the simple daily fantasy package, and about 60% of you signed up for the combo package, DFS and NHL season package. So thank you once again for your continued support. My units and record don't lie. I will keep posting that out. So those that are interested, DM me. And you're only signing up with the best NHL capper on Twitter. So let's get rocking and rolling into the NHL. The Atlantic Division odds, all right? Nothing much has changed in about a month since the last time I talked to you guys about this, but it's always fun to get a kick started, shall we? The Tampa Bay Lightning at plus 135. The Toronto Maple Leafs plus 225. The Boston Bruins are at plus 450. The Florida Panthers are at plus 550. The Habs are at 25 to 1. Ottawa 100 to 1. And then Buffalo and Detroit both at 150 to 1. So right off the bat, I'm scratching off Montreal, Ottawa, Buffalo, and Detroit. So this is going to be a four-man race, I feel like, between Tampa, Toronto, Boston, and Florida. Obviously, you all know where I stand with the Florida Panthers. I absolutely think that they're going to be, once again, a very good commodity into this upcoming season. They're a favorite of mine. I have them to win the Cup as well. So why not put plus 550 on them to win the Atlantic Division as well? Tampa, of course, is always going to be that tough guy out. Toronto, you just can't trust. Boston might not be bad either at plus 450. We know that they're a very talented team. They're very, very aggressive. You know that they're a good team. They're always going to be good, Boston. But I just feel like these young guns in Florida, they have something to prove. I think that plus 550 looks really, really good. So there you go in terms of the Atlantic. So again, this is going to be a four-man race between these four teams. And with value, why not? Put a little bit of that plus 550 money on the Florida Panthers to win the Atlantic. I really do like that. But again, you just can't trust Toronto. Tampa, of course, they're always going to be good. But plus 135 is really not much value for me to look at. So honestly, you look at Boston, you look at Florida. I mean, between plus 450 and plus 550, you can't go wrong with either one of those. But I'm high end on the Florida Panthers this year. And at plus 550, that's where I am staying with the Atlantic. Metropolitan Division winner odds. The Carolina Hurricanes, plus 375. The Pittsburgh Penguins at plus 400. The New York Islanders at plus 425. The Rangers at 5 to 1. The Caps at 5 to 1. The Flyers at plus 650. The Devils at 18 to 1. And the Jackets at 100 to 1. So you can cross off the Jackets right away. Previously, like I said, again, I talked about this probably about a month or so ago. I mentioned outside the box teams that could maybe surprise people. Well, the Devils were one of them at 18 to 1. For the value, you can't go wrong there. But if I'm being realistic here, again, I have another ticket, Stanley Cup ticket on the New York Islanders. I usually do 2 Eastern Conference, 2 Western Conference for my Cup futures. And at plus 425 for the New York Islanders, I think that is a really good buy. We saw what they did. Back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals before getting ousted by the soon-to-be back-to-back Cup champs, the Tampa Bay Lightning. So will Lightning strike 3 times for the New York Islanders? I hope not. I actually think that they're going to win the division. I'm not a fan of the Hurricanes this season at all. They'll make the playoffs, I believe, but I just don't think the Hurricanes are going to win the division. Penguins are getting a little bit older, but I think the Islanders just have that chip on their shoulder. Hey, let's do it. 3 times a charm. Let's get to the Cup. All right, try and beat just beat that Goliath. They got to beat that Goliath. And, of course, the Goliath is the Tampa Bay Lightning. So, with the offseason and a lot of players leaving the Lightning to go elsewhere, I think this is the Islanders' shot to shine. So, at plus 425, give me the Islanders to win the Metro. The Pacific Division winner, okay? Golden Knights flying by here with a minus 165 odds to win. Edmonton at 4 to 1. Kraken at 8 to 1. Flames at 14 to 1. Canucks at 16 to 1. The Kings at 25 to 1. Sharks at 40 to 1. And the Ducks at 150 to 1. I'm crossing off the Sharks and Ducks right off the bat here. Again, and outside the team, an absolute long shot for Philly Pete is the Kings to win the Pacific Division here. I said this time in and time out again. I will repeat myself. At 25 to 1, this is a nice little ticket to consider. Okay, I think the Kings have a lot to prove. I think they're going to be very, very, very solid this year. I really do. I think they're going to go over their team total as well. I believe it was 85. I think they squeaked by with a 90-point season this year. I really do, and they sneak into the playoffs. This is how high I am on the Kings this year. I really like them a lot. Vancouver Canucks. See, this is between the Central and the Pacific. This is tough. Western Conference is so much tough in terms of these teams because they're all talented in their own sort of ways. But The Knights are just, again, that's just too juicy for me to bet on. Edmonton at 4-1, they have a lot to prove. It just depends on Mike Smith, how he does in net. Obviously, they had a lot to choose from in the goaltending. Last year, they got nobody. This past offseason, again, had someone to go after, but they signed Mike Smith for 2 years. So, Oilers are stuck with Mike Smith. Can he be trusted? Well, listen, they got Zach Hyman from Toronto, and maybe that helps the blue line. It helps Mike Smith a little bit. But 4-1 isn't too bad considering the fact. Kraken 8-1. I think that's it's good value for them, but I can't trust them right at the moment. But if I'm taking a long shot, like I said, the Kings, but the Canucks at 16-1. Okay, the Canucks went through COVID for 3 weeks at the last 3 weeks of the NHL season. They were done. I think that this team is going to come out with a fire lit under their ass. They're going to play extremely well hockey. I really do think Canucks have something to prove. And they're going to surprise people. I really do. I like them to make the playoffs as well. I believe they were at plus 145 to make the playoffs. That's good value there. For a team that just went to the Western Conference Finals not too long ago, 2 seasons ago during the COVID season, you can't go wrong with that team. So I really do like the Canucks there at 16-1. That's a solid price there. And even Edmonton, you can look at 4-1. And of course, like I said, the Kings are my outside the box team at 25-1. So, all in all, I mean, these are just Canucks and Kings are long shots. Absolutely, 16-1, 25-1. Oilers at 4-1. I just feel like it's decent value. $100 pays you $400. I think that's a solid spot there. They have offense. They now have defense. But can Mike Smith hold that net? Can he hold that net for this team? So it all depends on that. And last but not least, before I head to commercial, let's close these out. The Central Division winner odds. Colorado Avalanche minus 225 to win. Wild at 6-1. Dallas 10-1. Blues 12-1. Jets 16-1. Blackhawks 20-1. Preds at 66-1, and the Coyotes at 150-1. I'm crossing off the Preds and the Coyotes. The Avalanche, that's just too juicy. I'm not about that. I'm about value. I'm a value guy. Wild, hey, listen, if you listen to this show about making and missing playoff odds, okay, I had the Minnesota Wild at plus 230 to miss the playoffs this year. I think they take a step back. I think they regress a little bit. Okay, I think that's what's going to happen here with the Wild. But plus 230 to miss the playoffs, I think that's good odds here for the Wild. Hey, we were high on them last year. They got the over in points and they made the playoffs. Clients cashed that out last year. But this year, I don't think they make the playoffs. And at plus 230 to miss it, I think that's a good money where your mouth is situation there. Dallas Stars at 10-1. I love that. I'm circling that up. That Stars at 35-1 to win the Cup is also a ticket of mine as well. I love Dallas. As long as they're healthy and they're ready to rock, I think this team can explode. They just went to the Stanley Cup Finals 2 seasons ago. I mean, obviously injuries hurt them last season, and I think this year, as long as they're healthy, I think they get back on that saddle and get back to the promised land. I really do. I'm very high on the Stars this year. I like the Jets too at 16-1. Them to win the Cup is 45-1 right now on DraftKings and Fanduel. I love that number as well. I mean, you got Brandon Dillon that came as well from the Caps. I mean, he's going to be in the blue line to help out Connor Hellebuyck. So, I mean, and with him in net, you know what they did. I mean, they destroyed the Edmonton Oilers last year and sweeping them in great fashion, only to lose to the Montreal Canadiens. But I think this Jets team has a lot to prove as well. I mean, they're right there. They are extremely right there. And at 16-1, I think you can't go wrong with that. And, of course, the Chicago Blackhawks at 20-1, man. That is a nice number there, too. So, again, value plays for Philly Pete for the Central. Blackhawks, 20-1. The Jets at 16-1. Hell, even the Stars at 10-1. Those are my 3 out of the Central that I love. That's really worth putting some money on. Pacific Division, like I said, I like the Oilers at 4-1. The Canucks, a good value to get at 16-1, and the Kings at 25-1. You can't stop talking about these teams here. The clustered Metropolitan Division that we have. I mean, this could be anybody's race, but again, I'm on the Islanders at plus 425, and for the Atlantic Division, I like the Florida Panthers at plus 550, maybe even give the Bruins at plus 450 a shot too. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. I'm going to take a quick 2-minute commercial break, And when I get back, all fantasy football. So I will be right back. Give me 2, and stay tuned.
Ounce Sports has a new home for betting. BetUS.com is the official place to place your bets and support 12-ounce sports. All you have to do is go to BetUS.com and type in the promo code 120Z and you'll instantly get a deposit bonus. This is America's favorite sportsbook. And remember, always gamble responsibly.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking that quick 2-minute commercial break with me. This is the Thursday, September 23rd, 2021 edition of Pete's Power Plays, hosted by the one, the only King of the Ice and fantasy football guru himself, Philly Pete. And we're live on 12-ounce sports and Zingo TV, channel 761. Of course, this show is sponsored by BetUS. Set up an account today. Use the promo code 12ounce. I'll match your first deposit up to 125%. Simple as that. BetUS. Set up an account, 12-ounce, 120Z, 12-ounce. Simple as that. Zingo TV, channel 761. Thank you all out there for tuning in. And, that's a simple setup as well. 12 ounces there. Set up an account today on Zingo, and then flip over to channel 761. Last but not least, Amazon.com. Get heated up this summer. Go to www.12ouncesportsradio.com/Amazon. I also want to give a shout out to my beautiful daughter, Gia, for her 5th month. Happy 5 months, sweetheart. Simple as that. You're growing before our eyes. So shout out to my little daughter out there who is 5 months exactly today. And her christening's on Sunday, so she's going to be baptized on Sunday. It's going to be great. Great ceremony, great celebration for the young one. And she'll be talking pucks in no time. Simple as that. So NFL DFS. Now, I want to go into week 3 real quick. I'm going to look at some week 3 players that I like. When I'm looking at week 3 players, now I already have a Fanduel lineup set up for Sunday. Again, this is subject to change, okay, like always, because I want to get more definitive information on some players before I'm putting a full lineup. But for tournament players, for Fanduel, this is a Fanduel lineup for week 3. Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, Tyson Williams of the Ravens at running back, Myles Gaskin, the other running back out of Miami. I want to have Justin Jefferson at wide receiver, Chase Claypool, and Tyreek Hill. All right, absolutely load at the receiver spot. Darren Waller as your tight end. My flex, Mike Williams from the Chargers, and then the Bengals defense as well. So this is going to be a possible week 3 lineup. So be on the lookout on Sunday afternoon before. I usually tweet it out by about 12:30. So be on the lookout for that. For optimal lineups for cash games, I don't have it filled out yet, but I have Lamar Jackson as my quarterback. I also have Saquon Barkley as my running back. Yes, Saquon. I expect a solid bounce-back game for him. DK Metcalf at receiver, and Mark Andrews at tight end. So that's all I have right now, about 4 players for my optimal cash game lineup. But stay tuned for that. I'll let you guys know, of course, ahead of time where I stand. For tonight, 3 players that I'm locking on right now. And he's going to be MVP for probably everybody's lineup on FanDuel and DraftKings. And that, of course, is Mr. Run CMC himself. Christian McCaffrey, of course, should be in everybody's lineup. They should be everybody's MVP. He's going to have over 150 yards rushing and receiving total. I believe he'll probably have 2 touchdowns tonight. I expect him to have at least 30 points for fantasy owners. I have him in 2 leagues. I have him in a full-point PPR league. I'm excited. This is the game where I think he breaks loose and he scores. He should have had about 5 touchdowns last week, but Darnold decided, hey, let me throw a 2-yard pass, 2 of them, to DJ Moore. So you know what? That's just how it goes. But I think this is going to be McCaffrey's coming out show. Week 3, Thursday night, prime time. I see about 30 points for CMC here tonight. And he should be everybody's MVP. Simple as that. So cash games, all right? This is likely going to be a cash game lineup for Fanduel. I'm looking at Christian McCaffrey, of course, as your MVP. I'm also looking at Brandon Cooks. So the 3 locks I like was CMC, Brandon Cooks, and I also like Sam Darnold in the mix there as well. So those are my 3: CMC, Darnold, and Brandon Cooks should be in your lineups. So MVP Thursday night, cash games. McCaffrey, okay. Terrence Marshall Jr., receiver from the Carolina Panthers, okay. Pharaoh Brown, tight end of the Houston Texans. Brandon Cooks, of course, receiver out of the Houston Texans. And Sam Darnold. Okay, that's where I'm leaning at right now. So once again, Christian McCaffrey, Terrence Marshall Jr., Pharaoh Brown, Brandon Cooks, and Sam Darnold is a cash game for tonight that I'm going to be. That's probably going to be a lineup that I give you guys out there. So be on the lookout for this. So like I said, if you missed out on this, CMC as your MVP, Terrence Marshall Jr., Brandon Cooks, Sam Darnold, and Pharaoh Brown. That's probably likely going to be the lineup that I give out to Twitter for free tonight. Again, subject to change, so we will see what happens. Another lineup that I'm considering right now, this is a tournament lineup, so I talk cash games, I talk tournament lineups. CMC, of course, Brandon Cooks, Anthony Miller, okay, Joey Sly, and Davis Mills. So once again, CMC, Brandon Cooks, Anthony Miller, Joey Sly, and Davis Mills for your tournament lineup games here tonight. So that's where I'm staying. You got the cash game lineup. Now you got the tournament lineup. This is all FanDuel. DraftKings, if you're considering, CMC should be up there, top of the line right there. You got DJ Moore even up there as well, the consideration right now. This is for captain considerations. CMC, then you have DJ Moore, Brandon Cooks, and Davis Mills. Those are for captain considerations for DraftKings. Flex tiers, CMC, if you're thinking otherwise, as the captain. Davis Mills and Anthony Miller. Okay, a lot of this correlates with the FanDuel as well. So, I mean, that's where I'm thinking this goes. Towards the end of the spot here, I'm thinking of DJ Moore, Brandon Cooks, Joey Sly. But the third-tier players, David Johnson, Sam Darnold, Panthers defense perhaps, and Robbie Anderson. I feel like Robbie Anderson's going to be double-teamed a lot here tonight. Maybe open the door to DJ Moore a little bit more. But I think the Panthers are going to run the ball tonight a lot. They owe CMC a lot after what happened last week. I really do think that this is the CMC show tonight, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So, again, CMC should be in everybody's lineup, and that's where I stand. That's where I stand with that. So there you go. All right. So on that note, give me a quick 2-second break. I'll be right back. Sorry, actually, can I call you back in 5 minutes? I have my show. Yeah. All right. Bye-bye. All right. Sorry about that. Emergency call. So that's what usually happens here now that you have a baby and then the wife calls. So you got to make sure everything's okay. So I'm back. Here we go. So like I said, tournament lineup for FanDuel. Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Cooks, Davis Mills, Anthony Miller, Joey Sly. Okay? You'll probably get that or the lineup that I mentioned earlier for cash games. CMC, Terrence Marshall Jr., Pharaoh Brown, Brandon Cooks, and Sam Darnold. So one or the other you could play. You could play both if you want. I'm playing both like usual. DraftKings, like I said here, top of the line players. Christian McCaffrey, of course, should be captain consideration. Then you have DJ Moore, Brandon Cooks, Davis Mills. Okay, that's what you should consider. And then, of course, towards the end, you have David Johnson, Sam Darnold, Panthers D, and Robbie Anderson at the end of the list here. Another cash game lineup to consider: Christian McCaffrey, Sam Darnold, Brandon Cooks, Anthony Miller, and Joey Sly. That's another one to consider. So again, you have two cash lineups right there and a tournament lineup. So pick and choose where you want. You can play all three if you like. But again, I will tweet out my free Thursday night lineup, and of course the clients will get theirs as well. So this is still in the works. This is what I'm considering. There might be a little changes here and there, but right now this is kind of solid on where I'm standing in terms of this. And like I said, for Sunday, just be on the lookout for everything. The optimal lineups, like I said, for Sunday for Fanduel: Lamar Jackson at quarterback, Saquon at running back, Metcalf at receiver, and Mark Andrews at tight end. Again, I still have to fill out that rest of that lineup. But the tournament lineups, I'm pretty set on. They're hit or miss. We'll see what happens. Might change around things. But Mahomes at quarterback, Gaskin and Tyson Williams at running backs, Claypool, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson at wide receivers, Darren Waller at tight end, and Mike Williams at flex, and then Bengals defense. There you have it there. So there's fantasy for tonight. If I'm having a lean here, okay, the line went up to, I believe, 7.5. I think that's where we're at now. 7.5, some even 8. Earlier in the week, I believe Carolina opened up at 7. I do like that 7. But right now, I believe most lines are at 7.5. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at in terms of this situation here. I like the and you're indoors now too, so I like Carolina's been rolling. They're playing really good. They're playing really good right now. I do expect them to come out and take care of business in Houston. A lot of people might consider this an upset if Houston wins. I mean, yeah, absolutely. You have a third-string quarterback with Davis, but I really think that Carolina should run it here. I think they're going to have a good time. CMC should go off tonight for 30-plus points, a couple touchdowns. Sam Darnold should probably have at least a couple touchdown passes himself, but I think this is going to be the CMC show. Give me the Carolina Panthers minus 7.5 here tonight. I think they win by 10 points. I want to say something on the leans of 31-20 Carolina. So there you go. Carolina improves to 3-0. And to wrap up the show, last but not least, for the last 2 minutes, NHL preseason action. We have Montreal and Toronto. This is Saturday. 2 Saturday games on the 25th of September. We have Montreal and Toronto, 7 o'clock, and then Minnesota at St. Louis at 8 o'clock. Okay, I don't bet on preseason games. I don't, but it's just nice to see that we have 2 games coming at you. See how these teams go. Again, a nice early recognition of each teams. It's going to be nice to see some hockey finally after a long-awaited summer, talking about future bets and talking about division bets and conference bets and Vaniza Trophy winners and all the award odds. We're finally back to talking hockey. And again, I don't do preseason hockey. I don't do that. I never have. And this is being my 4th year capping the NHL. I've never done preseason hockey. So those that were asking, so I had a bunch of you reach out to me if I do preseason bets, and I don't do that. So I'm going to save the juice for the regular season, but enjoy the NHL preseason on Saturday. Montreal at Toronto, Minnesota at St. Louis. Should be fun games to watch. I'm looking forward to it. I will have that on as well, and with some college football on in the background too. So, but there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I have about 30 seconds left. So if those that want to reach out to me, you can search Philly Pete. I'm one of the first guys there at The Real Pete Tooch. DM me if you want to sign up. Again, I have a bunch of you signing up, and a couple of you just DM me right now want to sign up for the package for the entire NHL season and daily fantasy. It's $350. You get the playoffs as well. It's one of the best packages on Twitter, if not the best package on Twitter. You're getting the best bang for your buck. A lot of people throwing out $600, $700, even $1,000 packages just for the season, not even playoffs included. I include the playoffs and the season and my future bets as well. So you're getting a lot of it in a combo of one. even individually, it's gonna be about $300 for the NHL season and playoff package by itself without daily. So there you go. I'm out of time. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you guys on Tuesday. Bye.